So it seems it's easy, but it's hard to watch them grow. And love comes quickly once you know.
Hi, Finnegan here at the Grace in London, a very wet London, and I'm joined by the fabulous Robbie Cavanagh.
Hello.
Hi, Robbie. Nice to meet you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Firstly, I want to say I caught your performance, obviously, at the Long Road on the front porch, which was a fantastic performance. Firstly, got to ask you that the suit, cowhide, and the thing is fabulous. I don't ask this question to many people, so it was something that drew the attention to your performance. Obviously, your music as well, but is that a regular piece in your wardrobe? Or?
Yeah, not off stage so much, but yeah, I always like to try and wear something a little more bold. I think the version of me on stage is someone who can be a bit more confident. I think off stage I would probably never wear that. But yeah, I have a little collection now of sort of two-piece denim suits that I like to wear on stage.
Do you use that as a not as a mask, but as almost as a confidence? When you're on stage, you are Robbie Cavanagh, and then you can kind of perform a bit better.
I feel the most confident when I've never been very good at talking about myself. I like pitching myself. So yeah, I think on stage is where I do the talking, and here's what I do, and I'm going to do it, as confidently as I can, and then I don't have to then come and pitch myself off stage because you can just see what I do. So yeah, I think the more kind of eye-catching I can make that show, better really.
And obviously at the Long Road, you performed on two stages. You performed on the Buddy stage. This is a lot more of a dive bar and kind of a pub feel to it. And obviously the front porch is a more open experience, and you kind of can capture other audience members kind of just walking past. They obviously haven't experienced your music before, but can stumble into your music. Do you find those two performances, two stages, a different experience, or do you kind of obviously did you wear the suit in Buddies? Obviously,
that's what you're really. This is entirely about the suit. I wore a different suit in Buddies. Actually, I tried to make sure the two shows were different. It felt a little weird doing two shows on one day at a festival because I thought that it may be that people come and see the first one and then go, well, we've seen it already, right? We're not going to prioritize it twice in our schedule. So I wanted to make them a little different. But yeah, I wore a different suit for that one. But yeah, I love Buddies. I feel like I've got a real soft spot for that place. I remember playing Buddies when it was the tiny little honky tonk in the middle of the showground in the first couple of years of Long Road.
I think there's only one panel left of that now, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I love playing there, and I think they've made such a great job of recreating something that feels like a dive bar, but in the open air for the new version of Buddies. So I love playing there. But the front porch is really special as well. It's a really great place to capture new people, I think, the front porch, because people are just walking past, they're heading on their way, and if you can catch their attention for a moment, you may have a new fan. And I think we sold a lot of merch at the festival, and I think a lot of that was people who had just been passing and then stopped to listen to a couple of tunes and then got hooked. So yeah, I love both of those stages. The whole festival's great. There's not a stage I wouldn't want to play.
I mean, obviously, you talk about captivating or catching the attention of the audience, and the halfway through, I think it was, you poured yourself a nice Jack Daniels cocktail and kind of spoke to the audience there, which was a welcome, not a welcome break, but it kind of connected you with the audience. Do you tend to bring those kind of not theatre elements, but those elements into your performances?
Yeah, I guess it is an element of theatre to an extent. Yeah, I think there's something really nice about just pulling away from the music for a moment and doing something different and drawing people's attention away from just a guy stood in a microphone and actually moving them somewhere else on the stage while we do something else. And it gives me a really nice opportunity to talk to the audience and introduce the band if I'm playing with the band. And it gives me a chance to make myself an old-fashioned, which is perfect. They don't.
It's my go-to. So
Great, yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think a lot of the time my rider consists of just beer, and I don't drink beer. So I think maybe I'll just make myself a drink on stage.
have to put that in. So let's just go back to your kind of earlier music and kind of talk about how you're obviously progressed as an artist. So in your in your first kind of albums, well, your first one, you're a lot more emotional. It feels a lot more intimate and kind of a lot more of an open wound. But as you've moved on to tough times and stuff, you feel like you've, I don't want to say kind of crafted it, but you've sort of, and not become too polished, but you've crafted your kind of style, and you feel a lot more confident in yourself but still having that emotional connection. Do you find that's a natural progression, or do you, you know, find yourself taking those steps naturally?
Yeah, I think a bit of both. I think it's definitely a natural thing. I think it's been 11 years since I put my first record out, so there's inevitably going to be a progression there. It's going to evolve, you'd hope, and so that's definitely a natural thing. And I work a lot more with a backing band now, and it's the same guys that I have all the time. So it kind of has a bit more of a band feel on stage, and also when we're just touring and hanging out. So I think for me, now I write with that in mind, that I know I have those instruments at my disposal when we're going to be performing the song. So I picture them on stage, I picture us being in the studio. Whereas before, when I first started doing solo stuff, it was all about these super delicate, intimate performances. Yeah. I think I also learned quite quickly, because I used to do a lot of bar gigs and covers shows and stuff like that, and just playing gentle, intimate songs about heartbreak did not cut it in that world. So I think I found a mid ground that now feels like I'm part of a band, but also I have the opportunity to break out from that and do those intimate shows and those intimate moments.
But you've also stripped it down to kind of finding out what works, and then kind of built it back up from that kind of
I think in terms of learning about how to write the best songs that I can, just starting with the bare bones of an acoustic or a piano and then building up from there has definitely taught me a lot. Because when you're in a band in your teens, like I was, you can hide behind a lot, because someone comes in with a cool riff and then that's the song. You don't have to write a good song, you just have, as long as the vibe's right. So I think that taught me a lot about songwriting, and then building back up from the ground and hearing what works.
But you can go, I mean, and people have said it before, but a pop song, if a pop song is crafted really well, you can play it acoustically and it still sounds just as amazing without any bells and whistles on it. So obviously looking forward, new music next year. Are we going to get some new Robbie Cavanagh music?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I've been sat on a bunch of new songs for a while now, and we've just been figuring out the best way to do it, who we want to produce it, and when we should put it out. And I think early next year we're going to go into the studio and start recording some stuff, and hopefully put that out. It's been a nice quiet year this year, where we've been really planning for 26 to be a big one, and I'm really excited about that. We've got a lot of plans internationally and in the UK, and lots of new music.
So you've got your tour internationally. You're talking about you was talking about, is that Australia? I hear that's on the cards.
Australia, yeah. We just announced our first Australian festival this week. That's in March next year, but that's going to extend into a bigger run of dates while we're there. And then some stuff in the UK. We've been over to Canada a couple of times in the last few years, so hopefully we're going to do a little more.
Oh, excellent! That should be good. Are we going to hear any collaborations on the album?
Yes, we are. There's one song that we've kind of bookmarked as being a duet, and we've got a couple of names being thrown around at the minute, but we haven't made any final decisions on who that will be yet. But I would love to. I'd love to have a duet on there.
We can finally get that Alana Springsteen collab from the front porch, Limestone.
I gave her a lot of stick on that stage, but I didn't mean to. I was just aware that her stage was right behind us, and it was really loud. But
she had a fabulous green sort of two-piece going on as well, so you could have combined powers. I can see the album cover now. So obviously you've got the Australian tour, which obviously the UK audience can't see you unless they're over there, unless they can fly over there. But where can we see you next in the UK? Obviously at the Grace tonight.
The Grace tonight. I have a show in Manchester in September, the 18th of September, which actually sold out today.
Fantastic.
So you can't see me there either. I'm just going to list all the places you can't see me play. No, October we have a few shows coming up. I'm playing with a Nashville artist called Sean McConnell. We have a show in Manchester, London, and Glasgow in October. And I have some shows, some headline shows around the Midlands in October as well. But all of that's on my website if you want to check it out.
And did you say that you were doing it with a Nashville artist as well?
Yeah, a guy called Sean McConnell, who I've been friends and a fan of for a few years now. And he's an amazing songwriter, and he's coming over. It's his headline shows. So I'm going to open for him, and we're going to drive around the UK a bit together and hang out.
Excellent. So just on Nashville, you've obviously been to Nashville and kind of experienced it.
Yeah.
But do you feel that's the be all and end all of this genre, or do you feel like you can experience it, then almost step out and kind of keep that?
Yeah, I think the whole point of the UK having a country scene, in my opinion, is to try and distance it from being a sort of fancy dress, gimmicky, theatre-y thing. You know, I think it should be about British artists interpreting American influences in their own way, and that's going to Nashville isn't going to give you that. Going to Nashville is going to give you, you know, that big dramatic kind of side of things, which is cool. Like, I've been to Nashville a few times. It's amazing. It's a great place, and there's some very cool, authentic spots as well as all the kind of touristy hen party stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to make you a better British country artist. It's going to create an artificial American country.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think, like, I don't necessarily see what I do as country. I think it's definitely got a foot in that world, but you know, it's Americana, it's soul, it's folk, it's bluesy, it's a bit of all those things. So yeah, I love Nashville, and I would definitely go there whenever I get the opportunity. But I don't think that it should be every UK artist's target to get there, because it's not, you know, it's not how you're going to create a following in the UK unless you're planning to be over there 10 months of the year touring.
Yeah, of course. But it's about taking those influences, but then using that with your own authentic kind of music and kind of the emotional story about it.
I think there's a difference between duplicating and being influenced by it. It's so important to know who you are and then take the bits of other people that you like to improve that, rather than just being a direct copy of someone that you think is good.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and obviously we're short on time because you're going to be on stage soon, but I'll be out there in the audience with my old-fashioned watching you. So it's been a pleasure talking to you, Robbie. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
I wanna be your boyfriend.